shifting happens. I was going to say shifting happens there, but we're going to say it's shifting. But yeah, I'm joined today with Marshall, or also known as the Wave Yellow, AJ, and myself, and we're going to talk about the US Grand Prix that just happened this weekend, and the sprint that also happened that everyone forgot about until Friday when we had qualifying. But Marshall, AJ, how are you all?
Doing all right.
Yeah, just dealing with a cold.
Okay.
So,
It's going around, man. It's going around.
it's going around. It's going around the same way, a certain team's downfall is going around. But, go on.
Yeah, there's also a thing going around called Max Verstappen. He's given McLaren a cold at the moment. He's just in the background, just I am looing. I think we'll just start off there. Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix. I remember in our group chat we were getting our predictions going, and I think I predicted Max anyway. I think Marshall, did you predict Max as well? There was a shed. Yeah, it was you and me who predicted Max anyway.
Yep.
And we were like,
And
it
Shez
was,
as well, I think.
and Shez, yeah.
Three of you guys, yeah.
And everyone was like, Max is not going to win. It's a McLaren dominated track. And then, of course, the three of us pick and he wins. He dominates the weekend. He does a Max Verstappen of 2023. It was just kind of one of those weekends where Max was one with the car. Red Bull were operationally sound. We'll talk about the shenanigans they did before the race, but besides that, everything was working well. Yeah, it was. Max just looks like the fifth title could be on, and if he does it, who wants? AJ, I'll come to you. Do you think Max will win the World Championship?
Hey man, I've been on this Max train since 3 races ago. I've much to a lot of disagreement actually. It's been saying for a while that Max is gonna come in and breathe life into this championship. And shout out to Manny because Manny predicted Max as well. And for the record, I did call Max. I just am going for the full 0 victories.
You're purposely trying to get like a
I'm
0
purposely
out.
trying to get a 0-0 this year. But the last 3 races, I did in fact predict Max to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but that being said, I think it's on. I think by far, he has been the driver of the season for me. Just given the state of things at Red Bull, and for portions of the season, that car looked undrivable. Like it just looked horrendous, and you could actually see Max struggle with it. But somehow he was always getting in and around and getting enough points to keep him hanging. And I think, in my opinion, it was always a matter of time before the situation at McLaren blew up and Max capitalized. And I think that's exactly what we've seen happen over the last 3 races.
Marshall, with Max, do you think if he wins this now, it's still a long shot. He is 40 points behind. If Oscar finishes second and Max wins every race of the season, Oscar will still win it. But do you think if Max does pull this off, this is his greatest title of all of them?
Oh, no question. That would be the most impressive run. I mean, yeah, to come back from this deficit as bad as that Red Bull looked in the middle of part of the year. But I mean, what takes away from it is the tape, though. You can't just can't value it as much when they're peeling tape off walls. It's such a tragedy. But anyway, moving on. I did find it actually quite hilarious that the race somehow managed to do like a 1,000-word essay about the tape today. And it was basically like the same paragraph rewritten like 5 times, just trying to stretch it out because it's
it's not tape. Tape is just a long strip of the same thing.
And it's like they're talking about, oh well, it's technically not illegal to put the tape on, and it's not illegal to put the peel the tape off. All right, then there's nothing to talk about. Bye. Like, what are we even doing here? Oh, sportsmanship. What? That's never existed in Formula 1. Get real. But anyway, no, I think that Red Bull is back on form. They're still the ones that you can never count out. And with Max at the wheel, they're a threat to win every race. Like there are no McLaren tracks left yet. Like we used to say going in, oh, that's a McLaren track. You can't bet on that anymore. Like it's just the script has flipped, and every weekend you got to go in thinking that Max has a shot to win.
Yeah, and I agree. Like Mexico, Max loves Mexico as a track.
Yeah.
He is like, remember what he did in 2021. I remember him finishing. He had a terrible qualifying. He just couldn't get the lap, and he goes around the outside with 2 marks. Like McLaren could do a 2v1, but like, do we trust McLaren to do a 2v1 in this situation? But yeah, Max, I think it's a praise on Red Bull and Max, and it's also kind of just kind of, if you look at it, it's like Laura Mekies has come in. Yes, he may have inherited some of what Horner had implemented last year when they talked about that the setup they did for Monza was a work in progress from the previous year. But still, Mekies has brought his own philosophy in. He started to bring more engineering aspect to it. And also, and I think we're just going to mention Yuki a little bit, that Yuki has started to pick up his performances. He is scoring points. Yes, he's not scoring the high points that maybe you would expect in a Red Bull, but at least he's not fighting for P17. And as well, Red Bull have made that car more drivable. And Mekies he's listened to Yuki since each driver thinks since when Perez was there. Perez said he wanted the car to be more drivable, and Red Bull said, let's just try and make the fastest car possible. But this car has become more drivable. And it's also that Max is able to get the balance that Max likes. He's able to push with it. And I know qualifying is still not, to Yuki is not, like, he's still going on Q2, but the race pace has improved. And I think Yuki highlighted after, was it Baku, he said that they've unlocked something in the simulator that they didn't know before in the race simulation. So Yuki's happy with that, but Yuki still has to fight for a seat. He's probably out of it. I think Marco said that Red Bull will make their decision after Mexico. And the rumors were by the Dutch media that Hadjar was going to get promoted. But yeah, I think Yuki has improved, and I think Red Bull Mekies has listened to Yuki's performances. Do we agree with that? And do we think this is also like Red Bull have just improved? They've gotten this car? Yes, it's taken a bit longer than usual, a bit longer than they might have hoped for with getting this car, understanding the car and getting the car in a better window. But they have made this car more competitive and a more kind of versatile track.
Can I just say that it's remarkable to me that the bar is so low for the second Red Bull that performances that contributed to Checo getting fired are now considered an improvement. Like, this was a classic Checo race, like bomb qualifying and make it up to, what did he finish, 7th in the end? 6th, 7th or 8th?
Let's see.
So like, fighting with a Haas at one point. Yeah, fighting with Behrman and a Haas. Like, a Red Bull should not be fighting with a Haas, but here we are. And if this was Checo, it would have been, how long can this guy stick around? And now we're trying to give like Yuki flowers and saying he found something in the simulator for like what would have been considered 12 months ago to be a disaster by Perez. So I mean, Checo's coming back, so that's good that it didn't end his career on that note. But if it had, and if Cadillac struggle and that's still what he's remembered for, it's a shame, because
it's one of the best midfield drivers ever to exist. Or just like what? Like, that's why it's like, yes, he's won races with Red Bull and he got a number of podiums, but he will probably be more remembered for his time at Force India.
Getting podiums in Saubers.
Oh yes, as well, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what I've said this so many times before, but Max just breaks the mold of like what you can assess that car to be. Like, it's been like 2 years of saying the same thing, that oh, the Red Bull has a narrow window and only Max can drive it, and they design it to be as fast as possible, but it's not drivable or whatever it is. Whatever, like, it is so hard to determine how good or how bad that car is because only Max can drive it. And you don't know how much of that performance is
Just
Max
Max. Yeah.
and how much of it is the car, or what he would do in a sort of similar car or in a McLaren or in a Mercedes. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe someday we'll find out. But it almost feels to me like he almost transcends the development process because he's just able to get so much out of it. Kind of like when Rossi would just change manufacturers in MotoGP for fun and
Mhm.
take somebody from like fourth to first in the championship, and like, except for Ducati, that one didn't go so well.
Yeah.
But the one that I see like that right now is and he's going to MotoGP next year, is Toprak
Oh yeah.
Razgatlioglu, if I can
Yeah.
get that one
Three
out.
times Superbike world
Yeah,
champion.
and he switched teams from Yamaha to BMW, and everybody thought he was nuts to
Mhm.
go to BMW, and now he's dominant like he was with Yamaha on
And he's going to is he going to Yamaha next year as well?
I believe, yes. I believe
Yeah.
that he's going to um the what used to be Pramac. If there's like but now they're a customer Yamaha team, I think.
Yeah. Alpine sponsors them, I think, as well.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it kind of feels like he's the driver that makes the difference, and maybe we won't see it somewhere other than Red Bull. But yeah, if you don't see that he's just head and shoulders above the field, I don't know what else he can show you. Like, yes, his teammates have not been, world beaters or anything, but they're still competent Formula One drivers.
Right.
Like, Checo
It's
and
seen a
Yuki.
Lawson. Lawson
Yeah,
has he's gone back
like
to RB and he's done well.
they're not slouches by any stretch of the imagination. We saw how Gasly and Albon got on after they left, and you know, they may not be like top guys, but they're still like being made to look like, they don't even belong. They can't even hang. And you can talk about, are the two cars the same? Are they different? Whatever. Like, they run the two cars. They're not actively trying to tank the Constructors' Championship or finish fourth. Like, I'm sure Red Bull would rather be in second in the Constructors with two cars scoring points. They're not choosing to finish fourth because, you know, they can. They'd like to if they could.
Yeah, I'd
It's
like to
just
push back on that a little bit. Is that like, do you think that's the case now, or was it different prior to when Honda
Well,
was around? Because when Mackies came in, even they all said that that second car never got like the upgrades and whatever not. Like it
well,
was,
they got the upgrades, but it wouldn't be the first priority. It was like because Max was in the title charge, you would get the priority.
yeah.
It's not like all this happens at all teams. It's not. It's just
Mhm.
because it's the Red Bull. Everyone it just hyper focuses on Red Bull. Like I remember Mercedes boss was never getting wouldn't get the upgrades for under 3 races if Lewis got them. It's just because Red Bull is just the second driver. It happens probably down at Sauber that Bortolesso won't get the upgrades and Hulkenberg would. It's like it's just I just think it's just nitpicking, honestly. Like I think yes, like they have him. He still doesn't have the parts. He has most of the upgrade, but not all of them. But I think Red Bull's just like give him the upgrades that will help him. Like he's got the new floor and all that. It's being mentioned, but I think Red Bull that's just a hyper focus on Red Bull, and I think like Mackies has listened to Yuki. I think he has taken on Yuki's advice, and the team is listening and want him. I agree with Mark. I don't think it's Red Bull want to tank the constructors because you have to remember a lot of people at that team have bonuses in their contracts. If they win, like you're not going to tank the constructors because of stop people from getting bonuses for their job. Like that just demotivates people. When people know you're tanking, why stay in a team knowing that they're tanking for the constructors? Like unless you're Haas, that you told tell your employees at the start of your year, we're not in 2020, we're not going to develop this car. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, and I think that if you look even in the Horner era, like Liam Lawson, you could have given him all the updates in the world. He wasn't going to make that much difference, right? Like you could have given him the exact same car as Max. He's not gaining a second and a half that he was down at Australia, right? Like these are just margins that, fine margins. Like when people were having the debate about, Lewis and George, the margin between those two guys was so fine at times during their time together that breaking down who got what upgrade and who was running what front ring and what floor and who was doing the donkey work and whatever, that all mattered in terms of comparing between two drivers who were close in pace. But when you've got like a gulf like this between the two cars, I don't think you can really talk about upgrades. It's like,
So this is where I think like if you ask me, it's a bit contradictory to why you guys say it doesn't matter and it's just hyper fixated on Red Bull. I think the difference here is when we talk about Red Bull, it is very, very clear how big the drop off is in comparison to other teams. Because yes, while other teams may give one car an upgrade and then the second one later on, the gap between the first and second drivers have never been this big. And other teams don't treat their second drivers the way Red Bull does. Like it's a very different thing if you ask me. Because for example, let's look back at the Merc dominant era. Yeah, Bottas never got like the updates the same time that Lewis did, but he was still always second place. He was still always on the podium. And I think that's why there's an extra lens, especially during the Horner era at Red Bull. And I feel like Mackey's has come in as a breath of fresh air, um, and brought some positivity into a toxic Red Bull environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that as well. Like I remember 2018 when McLaren specifically came out and told the press that Stoffel Van Dorn had a broken car for half the year. Like it's like McLaren came out and told the press that they had a broken car, and that's what, but like that. But no, I just think as well, we know Red Bull's not one of the most liked teams on the grid, and it's like you have I think at this point you have to see that Red Bull have developed a car this season and have flipped the switch. And if you're not recognized, there's definitely people on Twitter who are recognized. Twitter is not the best place. It's not the most rational place, but it's where most of the discourse happens, and it's just a lot of it is just I think as well like just the cloud over Red Bull, and there's some deserving of it from what's happened over the years, but you have to give them their flowers for what they've achieved, what they're achieving this season. And it kind of does, for me as well, with Red Bull, it kind of just shows that Red Bull thinks that 2026 could be a dud. Their engine might not be great. They're saying let's put all in for a championship this year, and they are focused. They have the 26 car in development, but maybe they just think like let's go up because they were one of the last teams to stop developing this car. McLaren hasn't developed this car since I think the summer break, so their break. So like it's something to achieve to applaud Red Bull anyway. And I think we should move on to McLaren.
Papaya rules.
Or papaya repercussions.
Oh, repercussions, yes.
Yeah. Who wants to start on this?
Well, are they even now?
Well,
are they even like after the sprint? I would have to think that the repercussions scale has like tipped back towards Lando now. Like, I just think this is also funny because everybody's talking like, oh, Max is in it. And, we didn't think he was really in it. Like 4 races ago, but now he's very much back in it.
No,
And
that was you guys. That was you guys.
yeah, but he, where was my train of thought here? My papaya rules. But the thing about these people who are saying, oh, well, McLaren just has to change their tactics now. Like they have to use both cars to maximize their points, and they have to favor one driver, or whoever's ahead, they have to race Max, and the other has to help. That ain't happening. Like that is not happening, because the points as they stand right now have papaya rules baked into them in their scores. Like you are never going to get either of these drivers to all of a sudden change the rules of engagement, because they're going to be looking at it and saying, well, I would be X points ahead, or I would have this many more points. And both of them think that. Like we can look from the outside and we can see the obvious ones, like a pit stop where they let Lando back by because of a slow pit stop at Monza. But
Lando crashing out at Canada as well.
But I mean that's not like a papaya rules. That's
Oh
like
no, not papaya rules, but it's more of a a driver
but it's
slip-up.
but I'm just talking about like strictly between these two drivers. There's more going on within the team that we don't even know about. So there could be a race like in the middle of the season where Lando was like, oh, I'm faster than him, and they're like, no, hold position or whatever, or like giving him some code or whatever. Like they never say it outright because you get their team radio, but they would have some sort of agreement beforehand that if you call off the fight at this point, or say that there's some engine issue or like mileage issue or something, and they equate it between the two and whatever. Like there's all these little things that you can point to within the team if you're either one of those drivers, and say, oh, well, if I had have been allowed to do this thing or that thing, or if I hadn't had these rules back in whatever race, I'd be in a different situation right now. So you're not going to all of a sudden be able to say, oh, we're going to change our tactics and basically try and race Red Bull and make sure that Max doesn't catch either of us, because that's what they should do. Like they should just try and take as many points off Max as they can to make sure that he doesn't pass both of them, right? Like that's what they should be doing. But they're not going to do that because they're locked into racing each other, and it just shows the lack of forethought and the lack of contingency planning that McLaren has employed in this season by letting these guys sort of race but not really race, and like
Has it
stage
just been
managing.
this season though, Marshall? Because
no.
we had the same criticism of them
last year. Yeah, with
It
Hungary.
has not changed. It has
Yeah.
not changed. And I remember the conversations we had last year. It was still the same. McLaren are going to shoot themselves in the foot if the pit wall and the strategy team keep going as they do, which is
Yeah.
exactly what we're saying. And like we've said this for a while. And it's funny to me that you have, the people at McLaren, like granted the engineering and development team, absolutely spectacular. But how and why are you letting this happen when you've seen the problems it caused towards the end of last year, especially?
Because they thought that they were home free.
Oh yeah,
Like they really did. They
You're never
really
home
did.
free when you have
And
Max behind you. You
exactly.
are never
Yeah.
home free.
Yeah. And that's where they're gonna get burned. Like, and
Yeah.
I still think they will hold on. Like,
It'll be
we are.
close. Do you think it'll be
It'll be
close or?
close. Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be very close. It'll go down
Do
to
you,
Abu Dhabi.
do
I
you,
think
do you
that
think
Max
sorry,
will
Mark,
be in contention in Abu Dhabi.
do you think one of the McLaren drivers doesn't finish second, or Max finishes second, or like
Yes.
say like okay?
I think it's gonna end Lando, Max, Piastri.
Okay. It's another because I can see because on Piastri's current form at the minute, he is not in good form.
No.
Like he should not be finishing. Where did he finish? He finished it. He
He
finished
finished fifth.
no, fifth.
Sorry.
Like
With
he
2 more
shouldn't.
sprints left, they got
Yeah.
so many
No, but
races.
also don't forget, like the upcoming races, we know Max likes Vegas. We know Max likes Mexico. We know
And
Max
Brazil.
likes Brazil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's raining in Brazil, Max is winning.
Right? Like it's those three tracks, it's for
Yeah.
me, unless some
I think
crazy shit happens, it's a
George will
wash.
win Vegas. I
Yeah.
think.
Because
George-
Mercedes just like the code, and they don't know their performance is like bipolar. They don't know when
Yeah.
they're winning. Like it's
They're winning a street track at night. That's
yeah.
basically how it's going to go.
No, I'm of the opinion that apply rules has just turned into like it put them into like it backed them into a corner because they said like you said like they can't fight. It's like this McLaren philosophy of like they don't want attention with the team, but now they have caused tension because do they fighting each other? Do they back one driver? Then, like, if they back Piastri, who's not in form, and Lando is the one is competing at the front, it's like, do you cause even more tension? It's like, and then they have Max, like, who is
They want Lando to get ahead of, like, what they would like to have happen, and this is
is it
just
like for Lando to naturally overtake Piastri?
yes, and then once that happens, they'll back Lando.
Okay.
That's what I think.
That's pretty damn obvious, no? Because like I
Yeah.
like Zach and Lando is Zach's golden child.
Yeah, but he's
Oscar,
actually like
this
faster than
season,
Oscar right now. Like, but even if all things were equal, like even if he wasn't, like,
look, at the end of the day, if you ask me, as good as Oscar is, and no matter how much potential he has, both Lando and Oscar have made some ridiculous mistakes this season.
Mhm.
yeah.
And they are extremely lucky to be ahead of Max.
So I saw
Because
some.
if it was Max, if it was Lewis, if it was anyone apart from those two in those McLarens, heck, if it was Fernando, they're not making those mistakes.
No.
None of them are making those mistakes, and that's like Lewis. I would go as far as saying Lewis in his first and second year are not making the mistakes that Oscar does.
Mhm. But I saw the interview and I saw Lando fans getting mad, and well, they're always mad, but like I think Lando will win the championship, and I think he is the best chance that McLaren has to do it on current form. And I've been saying that since the beginning. You guys can
Yeah.
go back to
Yeah.
I've been saying it since the very beginning. Lando's going to win this championship because I just didn't like Oscar was too much of an unknown, and I figured that Lando would eventually get his what together. But if you watch the interview with Stella, and it was really funny because all the Lando fans are getting mad at it because they perceive it as like a slight. So he's talking about the race, and he's like, I thought that Lando gave up too much time following Charles for too much of the race. And by the time he got by Charles, he was already too far behind Max. And, we weren't able to challenge Max. And he's like, I don't love finishing second. We're here to win races.
Mhm.
And then he's like, and then they asked him about Piastri, and he goes, well, Piastri's had a rough weekend and managed to salvage some points and get fifth. So we'll talk about it or something like that.
Yeah.
And all the Lando fans were mad because he was supposedly angry or shitting on Lando for finishing second while coddling Oscar for finishing fifth. And it's like, well, that just shows you that Stella has more faith in Lando because he expects more from him.
Mhm.
And he's coddling Piastri because he knows he needs to be like propped up because
He's not going to like just tear into Piastri on TV. Like it's
but he was also like not giving Lando any flowers either. He's like, Lando, because he needs Lando to start winning races.
Mhm.
Like finishing second is not good enough for McLaren right now. They need to stop this max charge by winning races. And if Piastri's not going to win, they need Lando to win. So and there's like different schools of motivation that you can use. And I you guys follow football and you guys I follow hockey, but like coaches use different ways to motivate different players. Some players have like motivation internally and you don't need to call them out in the media. Others, if you call them out in the media or if you say things about them, they're going to be like, I'll prove you wrong and go out and perform. Other guys, if you start crapping on them in the media, are going to like start to get the yips and feel the pressure worse. So it's like you have to manage people where they're at. And Lando's more of a, you know, I'll ask for more in public because I think that will fire him up, right? Where Oscar right now doesn't need to be fired up in public. He needs to get his crap together in private, right?
Yeah.
So people like Lando Stan Nation, chill. Like, if you listen to what they're saying about your driver, it's very clear that they have high expectations of him, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, they want him to be better because they think that he can be. So instead of getting mad at McLaren for like trying to light a fire under their drivers in this little bit of a lull, like realize that they're trying to push them to be as good as they think they can be, and stop getting all upset when they're being mean to my fave. It's like, stop. This is the Piranha Club.
Yeah, I'm just if McLaren loses, it'll be the greatest piece of content. We can just have just a roast of McLaren, and then we can
It'll
also
be
have
2007-esque.
yeah. It's also like and like it's
They'll
like
remove
like,
their
it,
they'll remove their constructors points just like 2007, just for the embarrassment.
like AJ mentioned, like this McLaren engineering team like has developed a car. Like I think this car is not like it's not it's a dominant car, but I think it's more on the level of a 2019 Merc in the sense that it's won races, but like other teams won in that season, like Red Bull and Ferrari. But also I think like if McLaren they win constructors and they let another team win the drivers, that is not acceptable. Like it's not acceptable in the first place that you're letting a team like a driver I don't know it's Max Verstappen, but any driver come back and almost get into proximity of winning a fifth title in a row is crazy. And I think if that happens, there will be insane tension behind going into 2026.
It's not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, AJ.
No, I was just gonna say it's not just that. It's given the car that they have, George and Charles should have no business still being mathematically.
Well, Charles is out math. It's not.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, neither of them should have been like in that conversation of being mathematically involved. Like it just should not have happened by any means.
Yeah, I agree. And I think
Charles had a good race, so we should give him some.
We're going to move into Charles. Charles just showed. I was watching a live watch party, and just Charles's defensive driving just showed why he is one of the best wheel-to-wheel racers on the grid. And he he's unlucky not to finish second, but that McLaren I felt like was just Lando was just doing the most Lewis Hamilton impression of my tires are gone, because like he said his tires were gone and then he continued just to set fast laps and get past Charles. But no, Ferrari had a weekend where like they looked like they weren't going to make it out of Q2 in the sprint, and then they found overnight. Now I know Charles had gearbox issues, and I think he just when they put the new gearbox in for sprint qualifying, he just he wasn't comfortable with the car, and they found something with the car, both drivers, and I think you have to applaud that Lewis did have a good result. Yes, when Charles and Lando were fighting, you could just see Lewis in the background just chilling. But he wasn't. I don't think he was getting involved. But he was on it. Like, and I think Ferrari. We'll go to our resident Ferrari fan, AJ. But I think Ferrari still know they just have a bipolar car, and it's just they don't know if it's going to give performance one week or another. And I think Charles just gets his flowers this weekend, because like we could go to Mexico, and Mexico could be a disaster for a weekend going on Ferrari form.
Yeah, I I don't know, man. The Ferraris are just what's new. The only thing that I can see really is what's new when it comes to Ferrari. It's for once I was excited that Fred being involved meant that all the behind the scenes nonsense would stop. Like I was actually hopeful for that.
Mhm.
And that being said, I'm still not Fred out. I've always been keep him in for 3 years and see what he does. After 3 years, then we talk about whether we keep Fred or not.
Mhm.
But the entire mess that is Ferrari in the background, it's gotta stop,
Did
man.
did you just make a Fred up pun? Because that
Yeah,
was really good. That
yeah.
was really good.
But yeah, it just this enough is enough, man. It's like I hate to say it, but there's some sort of ego there, in the management and in the engineering department that just don't want to change the way they do things.
So it's a Ferrari way, basically. It's just like Ferrari don't want to do
Oh
something
my
different.
God. It's like United with the Glazers, I swear to God. That's what Ferrari is with Elkan and Co.
Like AJ, we came into this weekend with John Elkann giving Fred Vasseur the vote of confidence, which we all know what happened to Benotto last time that happened.
Yeah.
But like I know it's 26 we haven't gone, it's not 2026 yet, and the cars are not all on track. Do you think that if Ferrari don't get this regulation right, Fred Vasseur is gone?
Yeah. They're gonna use him as a scapegoat.
No, like it's the tip of like I think
It's the
Fred.
tip of the iceberg. If you like you were saying, like I think if Fred's not going to be able to fix it, I don't really see anyone else who could go in and deal with things at Ferrari.
Because
I
like I
really
know we know Horner has been rumored, but I think personally Horner is, yes. I don't think he's like the personal side, but running a team, I don't think if he went there, he wants equity in that team, and Ferrari's not going to give him equity.
no chance. And not just that, if Horner goes into Ferrari, you're hearing it first here, I'm done with being a Ferrari fan. Like that's it for me.
Yeah.
Like that's
You're
quite
not
literally it.
you're not the only Ferrari fan who's saying this as well.
Yeah, it's just that's if Fred can't do it, I just don't see anyone else being able to.
I think
Mark, before you come in, isn't it funny that every endurance side of a F1
Mm-hmm.
manufacturer is more competent than the F1
Mm-hmm.
team?
Mm-hmm. 100%. That's
Go
just
ahead.
there's just this greed in F1 and like they just don't give a shit
Mhm.
because
it's
the brand name carries so much weight.
it's the meddling of like John Elkann doesn't really care about WEC. Like he's not getting too involved.
He only turns
Like
up to Le Mans, like it's
yeah,
it's
yeah, like he's not F1 invites interference from the board and from
Stakeholders.
and like I mean, do Ferrari and WEC have any crossover sponsors from F1 at all? I don't
I
know.
think Shell is the only one because of
Shell.
Shell Fuel. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
the
Yeah.
maybe Richard Mille, but besides that, it's
Yeah,
very
it's very small
it's
on the
yeah.
F1 car. So it's like yeah, you don't even have the same stakeholders or the same like
And it's not even
partnerships.
it's not even Ferrari running the team, really. It's of course are running the
That's true.
team, but
Yeah,
it's Ferrari provides the car. But it's
but that's exactly what Ferrari needs to do. Like if
Let
Fred
Fred
can't,
do his thing.
well, let whoever do their thing. Like I remember saying this before and like screaming it from the rooftops. Like for the last time Ferrari was good was when they let John Todt and Ross Brawn
Ross
cook.
Brown.
Just let them cook. And Luca was there and doing the Luca stuff in the media, but he didn't interfere in, like, he didn't dare interfere in what John Todt would do because he'd get torn a new one by Jean Todt. Like that little man was scary when he wanted to be. Like he could be like very demanding on the team. And if you read Ross Brawn's book, like anytime there was pushback from Ferrari, like corporate or management or Fiat at the time, Fiat had a lot more influence back then. Like it was like Montezemolo's job to run interference and make sure that didn't even get to the race team. Like they need like a firewall there that just blocks.
They need someone brawny.
Yeah, well, they need to back the money truck up to Ross's door and just ask him to come back.
Come back, Ross.
Come back, Ross. Like one more time.
Bring John
One
Todd
last
over.
dance.
Bring John Todd over.
One
Fire
last
well.
dance.
Do you actually think that he could do it? Like realistically at this age?
I think it could actually like John Todd would have to be like he could be ruined by it. Like it's the old thing in football. Like,
well, you wouldn't do like Jean Todt. You would just say like Ross and Ross alone. Do you think Ross could do it?
I don't think he could do it on his own.
No.
I think like I know Rory Byrne is still around, isn't he? He's like a consultant at Ferrari still.
So I've got a question, right? Since we're talking about bringing like hypothetical situation. Back then you had Todd and Brawn. What if you bring Brawn back and you have Brawn and Fred working together?
The thing is with Brawn is that John Todd was like acted like a shield kind of as well. Like he kind of like remember like Brawn needs. I don't think Brawn is like he can't just be the public figure. You need someone to kind of just be in the public eye as well, but keeping it like let Brawn do his thing, and then have someone like a team representative in a sense. Like you kind of see it with Sauber at the moment. You have Wheatley kind of up front, and then you have Bonnot on the background. It's like you kind of need that situation of like that kind of person. And I think Fred and Brawn are kind of like that together, but also Brawn is also good. He can talk in the media, but I also don't think he needs to be away from the media spotlight. He needs to be allowed to just integrate into the great. And I think honestly, Ferrari is just, I think it's a lost cause at the moment. I was saying to a group of friends, like, Ferrari need to go bankrupt at this stage to feel like what needs to be done, but they'll never go bankrupt because they can sell sunglasses and supercars.
Well, here's what they need to do: sell to Lawrence Stroll and let him.
God, no, Marshall, get the hell out.
Should we move on to his son Lance Stroll?
Lancey Pants.
Yeah, that term one, like Ocon was just filling, and then just Lance Stroll just punched him out of nowhere.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Last year, it was beaching the damn car when he should have gone the other way.
But that was his first race DNF of the year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like it was not just like not engine or anything. It was just like that was the first DNF.
Yeah, that
is mad. Considering I know he's been in a few incidents, but like I know, but he probably carried on. But that is crazy. Yeah. That's a crazy stat for Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
I think that's all we should talk about Lance Stroll because nothing else needs to be mentioned because Aston Alonso scored points, didn't he? He got 10 points. He finished 70 seconds off the lead. Well, he got P1. No, P10. Sorry, P10. I want to say P1 for.
Lance Stroll got P1. What?
No. Fernando.
Okay.
I think we should. I want to kind of talk about Williams because Williams had a mixed weekend. To be honest, like they got that podium in the sprint race, which was a good achievement by Carlos, and then it didn't go so well in the race. Carlos gets a 5-place group penalty for hitting Antonelli, and Antonelli finally learned to swear on the radio. That was his first swear on the radio this season. So
they grow up so fast.
Yeah, and then Albon also. Who did Albon punt? He punted
Bortoleto.
Oh, Bortoleto, yeah, on the first lap, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mixed weekend. I think Williams have sixth place, or is it fifth place in the constructors tied anyway. It's probably sixth, but yeah, I think it's Williams is a mixed weekend, and I kind of feel bad for Albon because Albon has, I know it's a results based business in F1. Albon had like what 4 top 5s in the first 6 races or something, and Sainz at the end of the season so far is going to have the podiums that everyone will remember. And I think like it's like they're both great drivers, and I think Sainz has definitely clicked with this car, and I think Williams has changed within the team as well. And I think Williams are they're doing well
It's
at the moment.
very it's very Danny Rick winning at Monza, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like
It's
that.
like it's like yeah.
It's like just when the works. Well, the one with Ricardo Mondo was at that McLaren was like Andis Williams likes to be fast in a straight line, so it's like that. But I think Sainz has definitely clicked like something with the car anyway. I think it's not like the podium at Baku definitely felt like a Ricardo Monza. I remember watching at the time, but I think Williams look like they're making a good step up. They're just betting and getting ready for next year. But yeah, I think it's just a mixed weekend. Like I'd say they would have wished for more points on Sunday, but it just felt like that the Williams drivers were just caused the wrong chaos on Sunday. Anyone have any thoughts on Williams, or just kind of just feel like it was just a good start, but like not a great Sunday?
I think it was just not a great Sunday. Like they did well on Saturday, and then something just wasn't clicking, and sometimes that happens. Like it's unfortunate to see. But what is good to see is that the Williams. I hope people remember Alex and give Alex the flowers he deserves at the end of the season because he did a lot of work in that car.
Yep.
And I feel like similar to what you said, it's just overshadowed by Carlos's podiums. But either way, it's nice to see a Williams back on the podium. No complaints.
On genuine pace, like not just like
Yeah.
fluking, not like a George Russell at Spa, just like Spa 21, just like. But no, I think also we'll briefly touch on it. The Alpines having team orders for P17, which was just shows you the state of that team. It's just
oh my goodness, like
it was like I know Gasly, like it was just
multi 1718, multi 1718.
There was so much. Did you ever notice on the radio? There was so much drivers are like say like Lando, I'm slow. George, Lando, like was it like Franco calling Pierre slow? Like there's a lot of drivers just saying everyone was slow. But it was also like I was just watching and I was thinking like. Yeah, Colapinto is going to overtake Gasly and defy these team orders for P17.
Good on him because that's ridiculous. You should never have team orders outside of the points. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and it looks like finally the Franco Colapinto money has arrived because they had a Argentinian sponsor activation on their livery this weekend.
Oh, was that what the yellow was for?
Yeah, that was it was similar to Williams last year.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't the 2005 Renault throwback livery, which they highlighted when their first championship was won 20 years ago.
Can I just remark on the fact that Ferrari has HP on the side that doesn't look right, and Williams ran a livery that just like is begging for the HP logo to look right. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, the tribute to it was it 2004, wasn't it? The tribute
2002, but it didn't really look like it on track. Honestly, I thought that it was the Komatsu blue kind of ruined it because it wasn't the right. It wasn't the right shade. It didn't give me the proper compact HP vibes of the original. Like it has to be a deeper blue with more white. It just looked like a Williams that they half forgot to paint.
It has to look like Ralf Schumacher drove it.
Yeah. But we don't want that.
Actually, we're going to do a lightning round here. What do we think of the special liveries this weekend? Because I thought they were
All
the bar was
garbage.
the bar was low. Like it
All
was.
garbage. All garbage. That whatever that what how
He's the
is
catch-up.
bright orange a tortoise shell? Like
What was it supposed to be
Tortoise
like?
shells are brown and orange. There are tortoises that are that color.
are there? It
Yeah.
looked like McLaren orange from a distance.
No. There are plenty.
Like there's, but like, oh yeah, the piece of catch-up wasn't like it was okay. Like, okay, the merch was terrible. What else? Williams, like I liked it, but the bar was low. McLaren tried to do a special livery, but they will never get rid of the papaya because Zach says it's the brand and we can't
Because
recreate
papaya
the.
It you mean traffic cone orange, but they still call it papaya?
Papaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
You know
was it?
they've actually changed the Pantone since like in 2021 to
Mhm.
22, they actually changed the Pantone to a
Oh,
brighter orange. So it is
but is
literally it
that
is
why it looks
not
like it looks like a
it's
red sometimes in the camera?
it's not it's traffic cone orange. It's
Yeah.
like the day glow
Yeah.
pylon orange. They don't like they are not papaya anymore. They got rid of it because it didn't pop on camera.
Yeah.
Papaya is actually kind of like a yellowy
Yeah, it's more from the
like
2018 McLaren was kind of
yeah, it's like if you look at the old like
testing livery.
Revson Indy
Yeah.
McLarens, like they're
So the
all
papaya
very
no pop, yeah?
what's that?
The papaya no pop, yeah?
Yeah, no, the papaya no pop. But
Yeah.
if you look at like the old McLaren classic liveries,
Mhm.
they're like almost a yellow with like an orangey kind
Yeah.
of hue to them, but
Yeah.
they're not like what their color is right now is just day glow orange, traffic
Mhm.
cone.
That's
Like
why sometimes with the camera lighting on the TV, you can see it looks so red at times.
yeah, because it reflects back, but it like I'm not gonna lie, it pops in person. Like
Oh yeah.
you see a McLaren, you know it in person.
Mhm.
But if you remember back like that 2017, 18
Yeah. Mhm.
Alonso era, papaya was very gross looking in person.
Can I
Yeah.
just
So,
highlight something real quick?
Mhm.
yeah.
Do you guys realize how much of a dud the
The race
Austin
was.
weekend has been? That
We're
this
talking about
That
liveries.
we're talking about
we're talking
papaya.
about a whole bunch of shit. But
We're talking
with
about
that being
papaya.
said, with that being said, shout out to Shez and Baxty in the comments, man.
Yeah.
Like, I did not realize we've been doing this for a year. Holy shit.
But yeah, a year.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it wasn't a great race. We have Mexico. I think we should do predictions for Mexico, or what we expect from Mexico, because Mexico does throw a good show on for their weekend. It will be interesting to see. I'm guessing a Sergio Perez will turn up at some point in a Cadillac outfit to warm the crowd.
Him and Valtteri will watch from
Yeah.
the same
Well,
viewing box.
apparently Bottas is still contracted Mercedes, and Toto's not letting him leave until his contract expires.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah. So everybody's gonna pick Max, so I'm gonna go Lando just to be different.
Fly is saying Max. Baxty
Yeah.
said Max in the comments.
Yeah, everyone just wants to take my points away because I'm leading the championship again in the
Yeah,
prediction.
I'm gonna-
I would.
I'm
Even
gonna-
though I think Max will win, I'm not gonna go for Max.
Yeah, you're gonna take you're gonna take Bortoletto, right?
Let's give it to Charles.
Okay. There you go.
Fly in the chat, we need to catch up, Rory. You're only like, it's only 1 point. Like I did take a break of like not getting any predictions right for a good like 7 races in a row. But no, I am going to go. Who do I want to pick? McLaren. No, I don't think
Max
McLaren's. They'll go Max. I think I will go Max. I do think we might see a surprise on the podium, though. I'm not going to say who, but I think it could be a surprise. That's say,
I
Marshall. I think we could see a surprise in the podium. Maybe a Williams, maybe.
Alex, man, Alex on the podium.
That's fair, Maxi. This is a base. We all pick Max.
I'm just gonna pick Lando because I can't gain ground with going with the crowd. So
yeah, that's fair.
Hey.
That is fair. Yeah, so Mexico this weekend, and then we go to Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. We have a sprint at Brazil anyway, and we have a sprint at Las Vegas. Is it, or Qatar?
Qatar. Vegas is next year's sprint.
Oh, basically, yeah, Vegas is next year. As you can tell, we talked about the winner, McLaren, Ferrari, some of the midfield, and the papaya. I think that just shows you that this race was hyped up to be something. It did cause hype for the next race, but we did. It was a bore fest. It did actually bring quota. Actually, some news quota has been extended to 2034. It had a record crowd of 450,000 over the race weekend, which is insane. That's Silverstone levels of crowds, and I think I think Kota is one of the most. Would you agree, Marshall? And AJ Dog, Kota is one of the most versatile tracks on the calendar, or like one of the versatile tracks in America for we have MotoGP produces good action, endurance, sports cars. It's a track. I think it's a good track. My only thing about it is shame it's built on a swamp. It's.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it just because I don't like tracks that are basically the track limits are defined by a painted line.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a fan of just microscopes on the camera and not knowing if a lap counts. Qualifying was painful, with Alex getting his lap taken away, and I'm of the mind if you have the pavement, you should be allowed to use it.
That's a regulation. I think that's a regulation thing. We're not really going to see it change unless regulations change.
Or it's to the wall. We put a wall there because if there's a wall there, no one's going to go near it.
All you need is the Paul Ricard style abrasive paint.
The migraine
paint. Yeah. Let's just do the migraine paint. But it doesn't need to be brightly colored. Just paint it whatever color.
Just paint it tarmac color. Don't.
Yeah, it's got to be abrasive so that they lose grip and speed. It's bad for your tires to go off. But it doesn't slow you down or flip you over like gravel or break your car like a wall.
Or sausage curb. It's not going.
It's not going to launch you into the trees. Yeah. But I don't know. I've never loved Coda because I just find it to be too tilky-drome for me.
We have Manny who has joined us. Manny, do you have an opinion on Coda?
Coda. I mean, listen. I have friends that always go to it. They have tons of fun. They actually have more fun after the event than during the event. I know that was for a fact yesterday where they get together, started around 10 a.m. Austin time, and they all had a great time. So then the race, obviously for us, is 3 p.m. Eastern. Over there it's 2 p.m., so it's freaking hot as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like the way that Martin Brundle was describing the track, how wonderful it looks going left to right in the first, after turn one, it turns into a snake, something we've never seen in the world of racing is just absolutely exceptional. And he makes it sound like that's something so unique and so cool. And yet to me, it's unless I'm trying to think, was it Lance Stroll a couple years ago who missed, he went on the wrong side of the apex. I think this year was Hajar who went on the wrong side of the apex and he ended up, just crashing his car into it. So can it be better? Yeah, but how? How do you make it better? I mean,
I think it's just not particularly as unique as they would like to.
Yeah, and to me, it's not a typical F1 track that we remember, and it's we know that the front lefts are always going to be the most crucial part of the tire in the whole race, right? Because so many left turns, so many sharp corners, it all pertains to you going left. So
If we're gonna be ranking Herman Tilke design tracks, I'm putting Sepang,
Mhm,
and then I'm putting Turkey,
mhm.
and then I'm putting
Sepang is the GOAT track.
Come back
Sepang is
Sepang.
like the best Tilke drome, and
It's like
then
it's such a it's a
this
bike
one's
track,
probably
but
like
it's
better than Shanghai. I'll give it that.
yeah.
wave. What if they do like they did in the series here in the U.S. at Monterey, where there's that little dip?
Oh, the
Like,
Laguna
Oh, the
Seca
corkscrew. The
corkscrew.
yeah,
corkscrew.
that quick corkscrew up. They're going so many left to right after turn one, and so many left turns. All of a sudden, there's that corkscrew right there, right
Oh yeah,
before.
sure. You ever
You
seen
put the-
Oh
motorbikes
yeah,
do the corkscrew? It's great.
that,
that's
and
what I
that,
mean.
that's why MotoGP does not go back to Laguna Seca.
Yeah, but
But no,
well,
I think we could do this corkscrew if we did like Kota reverse because like of the turn one. But
yeah,
yeah, we have to remember with Tilka, his son now designs tracks as well. Saudi Arabia is his son designed that
yeah.
track.
And the
It's-
Baxty's comment about let's not forget about Sochi. Like, do
oh,
not besmirch the name of Mokpo Park. Like, come on. Or
and yeah, Abu
or
Dhabi as well. Abu Dhabi is a
the
Tilka track.
and so was India Boot.
Oh yeah, the Sebastian Vettel domination track.
And yeah, there was a bunch of them in the day that were just tracks. Yes,
Yeah.
as Baxi likes to say, that track
Track
was
was
it
track.
certainly was a track. Yes,
Wave,
indeed.
quick question, Wave. If you had to pick a track and take it off the schedule, will it be Miami or Coda?
Abu Dhabi.
I love it. I love it.
Baxi, are you
I'm gonna
getting away?
remember this next year, guys, when we
Like,
talk
can
about
you
Miami's track.
like can you
Well,
give Baxi his comment, please? Because I need to ask Baxi a serious
see
question.
here's the
No,
difference though.
Baxi is giving credit to Karun Chandler for allowing Max Verstappen to get that winning overtake on Lewis Hamilton for the 2021 championship.
Yeah. So the thing that makes the difference between Miami and Abu Dhabi for me isn't the track, it's the fact that Miami it might rain. It's always a possibility. So,
That's true.
that
Okay.
just makes it better because you have at least weather variability where Abu Dhabi we know what the weather's always going to be.
Well, we also know the weather in Qatar is going to be over 95 degrees, and
Yeah.
then you know, like.
Well, it did rain. It did rain for WEC in Kota, so it does rain in Kota the odd time. Remember 2015 it did rain as well. I remember that.
Yeah, but I mean Miami is a lot higher chance
Oh yeah,
to
there's
rain.
higher chance, yes. It's
Yeah, and then I think for me too, right, guys? When Qatar comes, we know here comes Mexico, here comes Brazil, and then Vegas. Like that's like the home stretch of the Western Hemisphere part of the season.
Yeah.
Always right before you go to Abu Dhabi or Qatar or whatever, right? So that to me is what makes it so like. Not that we should get used to it, but it's like you can't really take Qatar off the schedule with all those other races coming afterwards. So.
It's not one of the ones I'd take off the schedule, but it's not like.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't like China, but that's just my opinion.
I would rather replace China with Turkey.
Thank you. I totally agree.
For a track perspective.
Bring Sepang back. Just bring Sepang back. Just bring it back.
Bring Sepang, bring Portimao, bring Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Remember there was a
Baku, get rid of Baku, get rid of Miami, get rid of Abu Dhabi, get rid of Qatar.
Yeah.
Remember, wasn't it in like 2020 when we were looking for tracks to go for the F1 season, and Sepang's Twitter account just posted eye emojis, so everyone thought we were going back to Sepang.
Yeah.
But no, I think tracks on the calendar. Or Hockenheim as well. I would bring back Hockenheim.
Hockenheim, yes. It's either Hockenheim or Nürburgring for me. One of the two.
I think it's more. I'd say Hockenheim would be the most feasible, probably. But because the thing with Hockenheim is that even though we had German drivers in the sport, they could never get get the sellout they wanted.
Yeah.
Let's get
So let's get Hajar a winning car so we can get a French Grand Prix back.
get Paul Ricard back.
No,
Well,
Magny-Cours.
Magny-Cours, yeah, or a
Yeah.
niche street track. But anyway, I think at that we need to wrap it up here. I'd like to thank AJ, Marshall, and Manny, our flyer producer in the background, producing this show, and also his contributions there at the end. This was episode 28 of Shifting Happens, and we should be back next week for episode 29. And actually try and get back on a consistent schedule like that. But no, I think it was a great episode. And leave your comments, share on YouTube, all available podcast platforms. And yeah, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week.